I want them to ask questions. There were a few things, when I came to the end, it was like the second book's 50,000 words. And I was like, okay, I still have space to play, right? And your most common word count for a fiction book is 50,000 words. So most people generally go up to 60. The first book I wrote, the first one I wrote, The Duct Taped Dead, is 60. So I still had like 10, 15,000 words to play with if I wanted to. And I really wondered, like I had ideas, or I had outlines for more chapters at the end where we follow I don't want to tell you the end. But where we follow certain characters back, and they have those conversations. And I didn't. I decided to just end it. There's a wonderful book that if you do communication studies, which I did, they tell you to read, and I think it's called Nervous Conditions. And it starts randomly in a person, it starts with a little girl. It's a little girl's life. It starts randomly, and then it just ends with very little conclusion. It just basically ends on a random day. And instead of being a beginning, a middle, and an end, it just gives you a segment of this person's life. And you kind of have to imagine what happens afterwards. And I kind of feel like I did the same with these two books, where I ended it at a pinnacle point, and it does have an ending for certain characters, but for the rest I don't. And I think it's because life is not that neat, and what they do beyond that is now their story and somebody else's story. And I didn't want to have an ending for that, because you must imagine it. It's not life. It's not life. I think life doesn't get tied up in neat little bows, all at the same exact time. No. I try to stay away from other zombie stuff, and I have been exposed to a lot of zombie stuff. I guess I liked Shaun of the Dead because it brought in a humor side. I try to bring in some comedy and humor into my books because I can do that. So I did try and bring in some more light-heartedness into something that was quite serious or something quite adventure orientated. So yeah, I did try and bring comedy in. I did try and bring in, if in other zombie lore, it's always the zombies that are being attacked, or the zombies are attacking the humans, and I flipped it, and I wanted to try and make humans as scary. So as scary as zombies are in other forms, I try to make them as scary, or I try to make the humans as scary in mine. Where do these books fit into my broader style? I don't really want to be boxed. I have a Trello board, and in it's got like all these ideas for other books that I want to write, and they don't all fall under one category at all. They don't. No. The book that I'm writing now deals with mankind and mankind's mistakes and solutions and mistakes. It deals with that. It deals with mankind's stupidity. I suppose mankind's stupidity could also be included in this book as well, because we do deal with that. But there's no zombies. in this book that I'm writing now. The books that I have going forward, the one deals with an unknown element. So that's going to be more horror. That deals with the past and the current story. That has a past story that is interwoven into a current story. Might be a fourth book. I'm not sure. I haven't got there yet. But that deals with their stories and conflicts and trauma. So I don't think I'm boxed into, oh, Celeste Yates is a horror writer, or Celeste Yates writes about, romantic Jane Austen style books, or Celeste Yates. I would say I'm probably never going to write general fiction. It will always fall under, always deal with sci-fi or fantasy, or those kind of genres. It won't be in general fiction ever. I'll always be in other or young adult, I guess. Young adult, maybe. I don't know. Wherever those books are. Yeah.